right, Mil-Spec Ops Monkey here. Welcome everybody. Just wanted to pop on. I know you guys have been watching the skies a lot, so I thought I would just jump on here at 2:34 on this beautiful Tuesday here in the state of Texas. So here's the thing. I just wanted to show you guys. We still have record numbers. This is insane. Today we have 1,200 right now. Currently 1,211 military aircraft up over the U.S., which is 1,000, almost 1,000 more than we usually typically see on any given day. So the average is 250. So I don't know what's going on, but we're going to zoom in a little bit. Again, I'm not going to try to indicate any kind of troop movements or anything of that nature. And if I see Air Force One, I'm not going to be pointing it out, okay? Just because of the current environment. So, but I want to touch on that. And then I'm also going to go into Guantanamo Bay. We're going to look at some stuff. I'm going to show you some of the traffic we looked at yesterday, and I'm going to show you how I know that we're over the target. So, all right. So very quickly, do a quick sort by. All right. So it looks like got a couple A-10s up. Those 6s, 4 B-52s. Peach, which that's out of Warner Robins. That's going to be, let me zoom in on that. So that's one of our E8, E8 Joint Stars. That's like a flying command center, which is pretty cool. Lots of rear refuelers, lots of C-130s. But look in, the helo activity is off the chain. It's crazy. So you can see, I'm going to get in up here, northeast. So there's something happening between Boston and New Jersey. I've been watching. Just take a look at this activity here. This area seems to be really hot right now. But we've got a couple H-60s here. Another one that's going to be an H-60. EC-45, H-53, which Jolly Green or used to be Jolly Greens. Not anymore, but that's Marine Corps right there. So that guy's up. I mean, that thing is just a massive gunship. Another H-60. So that area has been hot. We had a Dash 6 that was flying over the area earlier today over New Jersey, just doing circles. So they're doing some data collection. And this is how it ties in. This is what I want to show you. This is pretty interesting. Here's some more. Look at this, just these swarms of. Zoom in here. This is all helicopters right here. Some base activity going on here at Wheeler, but a couple Chinooks, like another H-60, another H-60, a lot of C-130s. All right, so there's that. Okay, B-52s. Got 4 of those bad dudes up. Now that's Shreveport, so that's kind of expected, but those guys have been flying a lot lately. Got one up here. That's buzzing around, came out of Shreveport. The one here. 4 B-52s are up. And yeah, I think if your stream looks a little blurry, it may be also, this thing is like a screen of Fruity Pebbles here, so I'll try to settle it down. If I'm moving too fast, it may be me doing your screen, jacking your screen up. So another one, this is E6, right? So electronics are definitely up today. C5. A lot of this clutter here, again, this over Texas, a lot of this clutter. I didn't know we had this many trainers. This is insane. But a lot of this in here are all little text 2. That one's not. Lawn darts, T-38s, T-37s, what we call Tweety birds. And that's going to be an F-16, F-16. So we're seeing some fighters up too, which is pretty. Don't see those very often. All right, the tankers. So if you guys haven't followed me in the past, let me just show you real fast. When you start looking at, normally we have, and this is what's crazy. Normally I have, there's so much airspace that I could actually click on something and walk you through what we're looking at, and it's clean. But there is so much traffic up right now. This is unprecedented. I mean, I've never seen it like this before. So That right there is your night watch. Okay, so that one's up. Like he's been flying pretty much center of the U.S. to the East Coast. So I expect to see him up. He's up almost every day anyway, especially today in today's environment. So, but it's insane. But okay, let me show you these how I track the air refueling. Okay, these are air refueling tracks. So for those that are new that are just looking at these right here. So what happens is it's called AR. Say this one for example, AR 112, which is air refueling track 112. Okay, in the United States, we just have a straight track. So what'll happen is an air refuel will come in and get on this line and hold a certain altitude. And so maybe it's 21,000 feet if the weather permits, right? If that's a clean spot, it's not real choppy. They'll designate 21,000 feet for that track. And so the military guys will come in, which is pretty far below the commercial traffic. Commercial traffic's usually up in the 30 to 35,000 range, okay? So these guys will come in and they'll fly this line, and then the fighters or anybody else will come in and basically dock in, get gas, right? Do the refueling and then bug out. And then he may fly to another track or he may stay on that same track. So when I see a lot of 135s or the 767-200s, the new air refueling platform, or KC-10s, I'll look and sometimes you'll see them on this track where they're getting fuel. So anyway, all right, let me unclog that real fast. Now in the UK, they basically put up almost like a pool, right? They'll have a zone that's designated for air refueling because they don't have as much airspace to tinker around with like we do. And so they'll hop in that little area in that space and just fly around inside that, and people will dock up and gas and go. So I got to tell you, looking at the amount of aircraft I see up, without going into specifics, I definitely think something's up. There's definitely something up, because you don't go from 250 on average to 1,200 plus, 1,100 plus. So, all right. So yesterday we were talking briefly about these flights, and I want to show you. This is N331CK, right? This is Khalida Charters, right? And I'd mentioned to you that these guys are going back and forth to black site, okay? That tells me that something is about to pop big time, okay? And something's going to come into the news here shortly. I can guarantee you that, okay? Now, when I see that, and I chimed onto it yesterday, I got to show you guys something. This is how you know you're over the target, okay? If you remember yesterday, we pulled up these flights. Oh, it's showing again. Well, okay. I still know I'm over the target. So, so a minute ago, I tried to pull this up, and they had basically cut out everything below yesterday's flights. But now it's all there again. So we're good. Must just be some shenanigans going on at FlightAware. So, but anyway, these guys are going back and forth to Port-au-Prince. They're going into Kingston, Jamaica. Lots and lots of offshore, close by spots. Okay. Now, here's the other piece that I was looking at today. Okay, so this is Guantanamo Bay. I don't see anything coming in out of sequence. These are normal flights. The 757-200 out of Norfolk is a standard run. It comes in every week, Tuesday, Thursday usually, and 767 on Friday, which is usually a supply run. These are contractor runs out of Fort Lauderdale, right? So contractors will fly back and forth from Fort Lauderdale on those, and you can see there's one way there, one way back. So they're basically just doing turns. Okay. Nothing new on that end of it. Okay. Now, let me go back to looking at. Let me get. Where is our. All right. So this was the Maxwell bird, right? The one we talked about before, just, Nancy 312FU. Okay. Now that aircraft has been doing some funky stuff too. And so I started watching it because I knew that these guys are probably involved just like the Khalida aircraft are. Okay. And so that tells me, you can see this was the one that went down to Guantanamo Bay. Of course, that's been, a couple days, but November 8th was when that thing went to Okay, but let's go to the tail number. Yeah, we're going to show you. So this thing just came out of the Bahamas International, and now it's going up to Boston Logan. Okay, now here's what I found interesting when I was looking at this yesterday. This aircraft flew from on November 16th, which was yesterday. It went from Palm Beach International up to DC, and that was early in the morning. Okay, they got there 9:06 a.m. Okay, now it stayed there all day. I didn't see any flights, which is very unusual. Okay, it parked, and then it left this morning at 7:44. Went to Wilkes County. That's in the North Carolina, so Wilkesboro, North Carolina. Then it started its little runs again. Okay, and so now it took off from there, went down to Naples, Florida. Then it went from Naples to Nassau, Bahamas, which is taking somebody guaranteed. And then it went from Bahamas. Now we've got it tracking up to Boston Logan. Okay. Now remember that arrival time came into Washington. Where are we? Dulles. Got in at 9:06 a.m. Okay. Now, if you remember, this bird yesterday, which was the PU, let me find that one. Phoenix Air Flight that came in yesterday. So let me just go back to W. I want to show you here. Okay, so this bird yesterday came in on the 16th. So that went from Washington to Guantanamo, then back over to Lauderdale. But take a look here. It arrived in Washington at 8:29 a.m., which is about 35 minutes before that other aircraft arrived. So I'm speculating that somebody, for some crazy reason, was taken on that other aircraft that we've been watching, the Maxwell aircraft, to Washington, D.C., and then they were put on a medical flight down to, because of the 35-minute overlap and the fact that that other aircraft stayed there till today. So there's something's going on. These two airplanes are definitely active in our little farm bird fleet. Okay, so we're going to keep eyes on them, because I think we're going to see, just looking at this air traffic and the stuff that's going on, something's definitely popping. So my understanding is Durham is pencils down, 100% complete. Everything has been locked in on the sealed indictments, and that they're ready to pop. So this could be what we're seeing here quietly. Just looking at the activity with the helo support, looking at just the volume, the sheer volume. There's definitely something going on. All right, so let's see. Overall marine traffic, Guantanamo Bay is empty. Nothing in there, nothing expected, or at least on the arrival board yet. So we'll continue to keep an eye on that. Looking at the commissions for the court calendar at Guantanamo Bay, these are the unclassed court dockets, okay, that were scheduled, and you can see they were supposed to pop. Right now it's supposed to be going on, and it's all been canceled. And so this guy, I don't know what's going on, but the calendar is clear for the rest of November. And if we go back to October, everything in October was canceled. Okay, we've got 2 months of supposedly nothing going on at Guantanamo Bay, and everything being canceled. And I just find that hard to believe, given the activity that we've seen coming in and out of the spa. We did see that slight uptick. So this is actually Flight Radar 24, and I went in because I was backdooring information on 331, but you can see the same thing. I mean, it shows the same information we were looking at on that same bird, going in and out of Miami to Kingston to Port-au-Prince to Trinidad and Tobago. So where's that one? Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. Yeah, that's all our black sites. So anyway, all right. So that is what's going on. I just I've got eyes on the spa. So if something flies into the spa, I'll definitely broadcast quickly and go live. All of these hot cells you're seeing with these helos, there's so many of them up. It's just they got definitely stuff going on here. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind. Here trying to get in. These are all on the runway. So actually they're flying. I mean, they're 450 feet up, so they're just running in and out. So all right, the fun things you get to do. They're just doing big circles. Oh, definitely came in from. So can't zoom in and see what we got. Area. So it originated out of here. Let me change my I'm gonna go to a satellite map so I can see what we got. Interesting. We got a farm field is what we have. So looks like that helo popped up out of this general area. Now that's not uncommon for them to land out there because there's, you don't have any power lines. There's a little county road probably out here, so they can land here safely to do an exfil if they had to. So that's kind of what you'd be looking for. They're not gonna, unless they're the guys in LA that are flying down the middle of the city block. But this is pretty rural out here. I don't know. Good place to hide, right? So anyway, all right. So that's pretty much it, guys. I'm gonna I will keep you guys informed again. Something pops up, but this activity, 1,200 birds up or 1,200 aircraft up over the U.S. right now is, again, definitely something going on activity-wise. So just stay frosty out there. I think we're probably going to start seeing things popping in the news because you can't hide this kind of activity for long. So that's pretty much it. Hope you guys have a safe and blessed day, and I will pop back on if I see anything that looks, pretty interesting. And so again, watching those birds, I'm keeping track of it. Our show that's going to be on Thursday night, we're going to be talking more and more about this stuff. I'll probably go more into detail about the aircraft themselves, the type of aircraft, looking at what, the insides and where they're flying, and talk a little bit about rendition flights and things of that nature. We're going to also talk about the election and Dominion and all the other fun stuff that's happening. So, all right, that's it. You guys, stay frosty. We'll see you soon. God bless. Monkey out.